Hi, everyone. We are just about to start going live here. Just making sure we check all the streams and everything's running, and we're waiting for our guest to arrive.
Hey!
There's Matty G. We just went live, and that's one guest.
Look who it is. It's Matty G.
How's it going, buddy?
Oh, not too bad. How's it going?
Good.
I'm really happy that you jump in anytime.
Yeah, excellent. So we can just monitor and wait for our guest to show up tonight while we wait for anybody to pop on and say hi. And we're just making sure that all the feeds are kind of coming through. Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
I've got this sweet idea where that if we get like a really, really dumb question, instead of reading it, we'll just freeze. Like we were having a technical glitch. We'll just skip it.
Oh, that's really funny. Actually, it's really strange. I just noticed on our Twitch feed, my eyes look purple.
It's very fitting for our theme.
Yeah, except for it looks like I'm going Rocky Horror Picture Show. So
yeah, dude. Honestly, right now it looks like you just smoked a fuck ton of weed.
Really?
Oh, there you go.
Man.
There you go. You're back. You got some white people. Oh no, see, it's only when you close the white.
What I do? Which? When I close my eyes?
No, when you drop the white background from your monitor, you lose some of that ambient light.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh,
all right. It's back.
You know, Carrie, I just scrub my pores, you know, and the trick is just to exfoliate. Just to exfoliate. Yeah, breathe in the good, exhale the negative.
We'll put that up for everybody to see. That's excellent. It's true. Matt looks really good. We don't know what it is, and I swear that he's running some type of beautify filter on his high-end ass camera, and he's just not telling anybody.
No, I have no look, dude. There's no way that it could perfect me this quickly in real time. Like no filter could catch up with this, right? This is me, man. This is who I am.
No filter can keep up with Matt Guy.
No, I mean, look at Tony's green screen. He moves his head slightly to the left. He half of his head disappears.
You know, it's great. My hair, look at it, kind of like fades out, and and then it kind of like slowly grows back in. Yeah, that's true. It's funny. Excellent. Well, just for everybody who is going to tune in right now, just so you know, our guest is coming along. They're just running a little late because apparently they had 3 other interviews before ours. So you know that it's obviously going to be worth waiting for. So hang in there. Drop us a message. This is a perfect time.
Oh man, she's gonna be all like beat down from the tasks of the day.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Shut up, man. Shut up.
Shut up. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's super funny. Remember, I was saying I only had 1 article. I actually did have a second article. I totally forgot about this one.
Well, grab it here. Yeah. Make sure it's
super funny.
Good to go while we're waiting.
Yeah. Yep. But this is definitely my favorite, so that's cool. I'm super jazzed. It's going to be exciting. And knowing that our guest actually has quite a good sense of humor, I think this will go over really, really well.
Nice. I'm excited. Mine were pretty good. I like my articles for today were pretty good.
Yeah, fantastic. Looking forward to hearing them, because you always seem to kind of come up with something fun.
Yeah, sometimes. You know what? Sometimes they're just little anecdotes or little things I find, and sometimes they're not even funny. But I don't know. I like.
But you powered laughed for some stupid reason.
Well, yeah, or I'll just be like, "Oh, this is awesome," right? So
yeah,
like when the town bit off this corrupt politician's plane for the lottery, and all of it went to charity. Like I love.
Oh yeah, that was really that was super funny. Yeah, exactly. Have you actually heard there's a new COVID screening process for your kids? If
Oh
they have
yeah.
a sniffle, a cough, or even a headache, they're not allowed to come to school for 24 hours.
Well, my kids are never going to school then because that's every day.
Right? I was like, that's almost every child throughout school.
Like
Or
every day.
like it just takes like kids are gonna get smart and be like, I have a headache, and they're like,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you know that actually one of the symptoms of COVID for your kids is them asking for a snack?
Yeah. And always
We're
at the
fucked.
last second, like right before bed. Yep. The you know, it's actually really funny because you know, I see these new places or these new positions come into place, and everybody's talking about well, what if they close down again? And I'm like, please God, don't let the schools close down. I can't have them back. They need to stay. Like I love them, but they need to do something in the day that is not interfering with my regular work day.
Man, it's I was really hoping for a wave two, or sorry, I was really hoping we didn't go into a wave two. Fuck. Yeah, sorry.
No.
That's
yeah.
Yeah, I was really hoping it
Yeah.
never got that far, you know what I mean? And
No, I really hope not. So, but you know, if it happens, it happens. I'm just gonna check. Nope, nothing on the base of the stream here, but it's going to be super exciting. They did say it'd be between 5 and 6, so I figured let's launch this. Let's chitter chat for a bit, and let's take and anybody, by the way, whoever's watching, if you are going to post a question, and the sooner you post that question, the better, because that means there's a better chance of you getting in on the live stream.
yeah, and there's a bit of a delay too. I think it's roughly 6 to 10 seconds. So
yes,
post them right away because we want to get them in before the topic changes, obviously.
Yeah, and of course, if you are wondering, because we were a little elusive on who our guest was tonight, if you just look right up above here, we've got live with Eileen Dietz, who of course was in The Exorcist, Halloween 2, Creepshow 3, Constantine. The list goes on and on and on. She's got over 108 acting credits, for a lot of them to which are horror films.
She played possessed Linda.
Yeah, which is pretty cool when you think about it back then, right? And obviously, I don't want to get into too much into the subject because that's what we are going to be asking our guests. But it's interesting for that time period to have someone kind of step in and do that kind of stunt role, or do on the more physical end of the role.
Yeah. You know, it's I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to talk too much because I have questions that relate to some of the stuff that I want to say. So
yeah.
You watched the presidential debate the other night?
I saw a little bit of it, not too much. I did think it was quite funny that the debates are the only time can a regular citizen tell the president to shut up and not potentially go to jail for it. Right? Dude. I'm actually quite surprised that Trump didn't try to have him arrested just to end the debate.
Man, it's crazy. It was like the only debate that I can remember seeing where like the next day there was highlights. There was actually debate highlights because there were like two children in a sandbox sometimes, right?
I know. Yeah, it was so funny. Yeah, I don't know. I do feel that, you know, Biden puts up with a lot, but at the same time, you know, really all politics is the same thing. It's really the devil, you know. One is hopefully slightly better than the next is all we can say. I don't, but you know what? I really feel like this is the moment where if I'm going to speak any of politics or my political mind on this, is I find it funny for all the things that Trump has done, including like embezzling a sick kids charity and you know, tax evasion for quite some time and all these different things, and yet Clinton gets impeached for a blowjob. Doesn't make sense to me. Like here's one guy's basically trying to cause world war and or has killed like over 200,000 people due to his inaction. The other guy just got a blowjob. Like really, where is the sense? Yeah.
You know what, man? Okay, so I mean, obviously a lot of stuff went down in the debate, but the one thing that really shocked me to my core, and I know we don't like to get into politics, but that one thing was like when he wouldn't completely deny, right, the white supremacy groups, right?
Yeah,
like he says, stand by and stand down, but he wouldn't denounce them. You know what I mean? So that to me was fucking shocking. So
yeah.
Oh,
I know. It's we
got a question here.
We got a couple coming in here. That's fantastic.
Nice. What do we got here?
That's fantastic, Julian. Thank you very much, and we'll give a shout out to Julian Goodman for a fantastic post. So fitting for the show.
But hey, man, you can suck my toes anytime.
Yeah, I heard that's a thing from Maddie.
That's good. We got the any pings yet from Eileen?
Yep. She's messaging right now.
Perfect. Come on, Eileen, get in our stream.
Yep, she's just finished up the one interview, and she is going to be coming on momentarily.
Cool. Perfect. We'll hang out for a little while longer, and then we'll get this shindig started.
Get it going on the road.
Yeah. Yo, what do you usually do for dinner on podcast nights? Because I know we do it right over. I've never asked.
Yeah. So normally, I used to wait until afterwards. However, with the kids back in school and everything, I kind
of. Well, Tony's dead. I don't know what just happened. But technical difficulties, maybe. That's never happened before. I'm sure he'll be back momentarily. Hey, welcome back.
That's strange. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, we were talking about food for the show. So normally with the I would eat after the show, but nowadays I've because the kids are back to school and I'm cooking food anyways, I started tending to eat before. So.
Nice.
I used to like when we were in studio together and we could just go for something to eat afterwards. That was always a good highlight as well.
I don't know if your girls are the same way, and they're probably not. But dude, my boys lately, like, they have insatiable appetites, like just constantly, like just a constant train from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed. Doesn't matter how many full meals we have. An hour later, it's like we just ate Chinese food constantly.
Right, and then they're just right back to eating again.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. I could just assume that they're growing. My eldest, she's getting a little bit more of an appetite on her, but she doesn't eat so much at one time. Just kind of would constantly graze through the day.
Yeah.
So it's what I like to call like the Christmas the theory, right? If you're going to eat, it's like throughout Christmas, I hate actually that full big meal, even though I look forward to the smell of it. I'd rather just kind of graze on the amazing stuff all through the day.
Well, no word of a lie. 2 weeks ago, it seemed like overnight, Adam grew 3 sizes. Literally, we bought him all
really
bought him new clothes, yeah. And the stuff that we bought him for back to school, we had to go back and get him new stuff because he just grew out of it all over the summer.
Wow. So you're only probably like another year away from like a penis measuring competition.
I'll always win.
That's what you'll keep telling yourself.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. You're gonna be that dad that when he's in high school and brings dates over, you're like walking around with the baggy underpants and it's like just practically hanging out, just to assert the authority.
Dude, are you caught up on The Boys?
No, actually, it's funny. We just started watching the first episode last night.
Okay, well, this isn't a spoiler.
I was really holding off. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I've been really holding off on The Boys, waiting to later into the season so that I could power watch a whole bunch of them as opposed to having to wait every week.
Yeah, well, I'm giving this piece away because it has no spoiler implications at all. But one of the guys, literally, his superpower is he can control and grow his dong. He can wrap it around people.
That's awesome.
It's great.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
There was a whole bunch of celebrities tweeting about it, about how it's their new favorite character on the show.
That's really funny. Yeah. That's not the guy who can cut off and replace his own limbs, is it?
No, that's a different guy.
Okay, that's a different guy.
This is like strictly Dong Man. Like that's his only power.
Yeah.
So.
I did find it really funny that in the first episode where they've got the guy who's basically they're making a dig at Daredevil.
Okay.
There's the one superhero who's blind and he's like he just does all this amazing acrobatics and fighting moves and everything, and he just walks up and says, "Yeah, but what happens if someone does this?" And just slaps him on either side of the head. Yeah. I was like, they're totally making fun of Daredevil.
Oh yeah. That was it's such a dark humor, that show.
Oh yeah, it's super funny, but that's cool. So all right, I'm just gonna say to Eileen that the link is live and we're ready for her. You know what we should have done before the show, Maddie? We should have put up some of your, while we were waiting, some of your recent music, the pieces that you've done. They sound really good. We should be leading in with some of that stuff.
Oh, thanks,
some
man.
Original Maddie G.
I will send you some MP3s. Maybe we can.
That'd be really cool. We could put a little track on at the beginning or something, and definitely play that before we.
Or
and I just realized, we don't have our regular theme music playing, of course, for the live show. Maybe we should do an intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll add it for the people who want to listen afterwards. Yeah. Maybe we should just get you to sing it live.
We on the air. We got this podcast flow.
Yeah.
It's me and Tony on the mics. We got to let you know.
You got to jazz it up a little.
Yeah.
It's like most artists when they go to do it live.
It's never as good live.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's true.
All of a sudden, the lights start flashing. Remix.
Right? Matt's like...
Yeah, maybe... I don't know, man. It's hard because I've thought about maybe jazzing, like changing it up and stuff. But when you won a Canadian Podcast Award for it, it's really hard to want to change it, right?
Right. How do you change it after the fact? Yeah, it's already gotten super good. So.
My family thinks I'm cool.
Fantastic. Well, we know you're cool, so and the rest of the world knows it too, Manny. So. Thanks, Diane.
Yeah, we're just waiting for our guest. She should be here shortly.
Yeah.
We're just doing a little...
literally momentarily, yeah. We were making sure all the streams are running live, and it looks like everything is good. There is definitely a slight delay for all our Twitch viewers, but don't worry, you're still getting the whole thing.
That's what she said. Or is that what he said? That's what they said?
That's what they said.
I said to you when we were in private quarters?
That's what you say at all possible times.
Oh man.
Excellent. So for those also joining, may have missed yesterday's little shout out to the International Podcasters Day. It was super fantastic. We had a lot of people in the old podcast channels give a shout out, which was really nice. And we thank all of you. And a big shout out to all of you as well. There's a lot of great podcasts out there. You, of course, have to watch ours or listen to ours first, and then you can go on to everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just kidding. Just listen to more episodes of ours.
That's right. In fact, there are almost 60 back episodes now. So if you're just jumping into the first time right now, make sure you jump over to our website or over to one of our social medias. That will, of course, point you out to some of our past back episodes. Or you just go right to our website and you can listen to them all straight from there.
Oh, you got a shout out on your background.
Ah, thank you very much, Diane. I figured that we're going to start off Halloween a little good. So, a light, nice way to start.
Okay. Count of 3. Say your favorite Halloween movie. Ready?
Oh boy.
Don't think about it. Just blurt it out. Ready?
Really?
1. Yep. Here we
I don't know
go.
if I have one to blurt out right away.
1,
Yeah,
2, 3. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Goalies. Damn! I should have went with that one. It's true. I listen to it all the time. Whenever I carve pumpkins, I always have that going on in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Weird.
I watched it on
Eileen
Christmas.
says that she's.
What's this? What's this? There's magic in the air.
It's really funny, actually. Eileen says that she's backstage waiting, but we don't see her.
You want to resend her the latest?
Yeah, we'll send her out a new one.
There's white stuff everywhere. What's this? There's
you
white stuff in my hair.
You also say that all the time too. Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Anthony.
Perfect.
I have to
ask
right now. Perfect. Apparently, we have to ask you about your Garfield costume.
That yeah, you know what? If you really want to go back, and I'm talking way back,
you pooped in it, didn't you?
No, I used to have this amazing Garfield costume. Thank you very much for that one, Mike. That I loved as a kid, and I think one of my all-time favorite Halloween specials was the Garfield cartoon Halloween special. It was fantastic, and I used to watch it every year, amongst like also the Charlie Brown Halloween and all those kind of things, or the Great Pumpkin Halloween, Charlie Brown, and that was always a favorite as well. And yeah,
did you ever watch
so
Halloween
I had a
Town?
Garfield.
Ashley's like obsessed with that. Yeah.
I haven't seen it in quite some time, but yeah, it was also a really cute one.
It's crazy. I hadn't even heard of it
Goosebumps
until like a couple of years ago when Ashley was like,
"Really?
You haven't watched these? There's like 3. At least there's 3.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there's 3.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So it's really funny, Diane. We just showed our youngest a Goosebumps episode, and of course these are made for kids, and it was about a haunted doll, and it scared the living crap out of my youngest to the point
That's
where
what did it.
Yes, it was this haunted doll, and it's no, it's about this. It's about a girl who tries to take over. It's the other girl's body or something like that, and yeah, it's really weird. But yeah, it literally scared the living crap out of her.
Ale due dembula. What movie's that from, Tony?
The which one? Sorry, I'm just reading a message from mine. I'm just trying to get her in.
I was chanting the voodoo chant from Chucky, where Charles E. Ray transfers bodies.
Yes. Okay, well, it says she's here and that I should be able to see her in the backstage, and it says
I
the host should see her, and it's
it changed the layout, but like the video layout.
No, that was
feed?
me. I thought maybe changing layout would bring her on the screen.
Hey man, this is the first live stream. We knew it was something was going to go wrong, or multiple things. So just bear with us.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I just don't know why it's not showing her. So,
You know, did she end up using her computer or her phone?
Computer.
Okay.
It says only the host can see her, and have to add her back. Okay. Oh, there she is. There she is.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hey. Eileen, how you doing?
And
Oh,
there I am. I'm doing great, actually. Thank you. It's very, very hot. I was going to do it outside, but it's like 110 degrees out there. It's like living in hell.
Oh, geez. Where are you located?
Yeah.
We definitely.
Uh-oh.
Nope, you're there. Maddie was asking where you were. You're in California, correct?
I am in California. I am in the Hollywood Hills.
Nice.
Very, very nice. Now you can hear Matt, of course, Eileen. Matt.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
I'm listen, after yesterday, I'm doing great.
Okay.
Are we live now?
We are live now. Yeah, we're just making sure that you can hear Matt, and I think Matt can hear you, no problem.
Yeah, I can hear her perfectly.
Yeah, it's not doing those little yellow lines on Zoom when you're on. That's all.
Yes. Yeah, I just try to go by the facial expressions and make sure we don't cut each other off the best we can. Perfect.
That's my word of advice. Let me tell you, I work really hard not to cut people off, but I do it here and I do it in life. And then also I talk too much. I can go on and on. So if you think I'm going on and on too much, just raise your hand.
It's like old school, Maddie. If you want to get a question in, make sure you put your hand up.
Perfect.
Absolutely. We do Zooms with my manager, Chris Rowe, and there's probably about 12, 15 people there, all actors. And so we have to put our hands up or everybody will talk.
Yes. Yep. That can happen every once in a while. Well, now that you are here and we're all connected now, let's get underway and we can officially announce our show. So welcome everybody to the Freaking Awesome Podcast. I am your host, Anthony Bose, and of course, sitting next to me is
Maddie G.
Hey, look at that! You actually get to introduce yourself for the first time.
Yeah,
you have you have a Matt Damon thing going for you.
Oh,
he does.
Or maybe it's Leo DiCaprio, somebody like that.
I get
either way. I think the key word is you're going with sexy. That's the word.
Cute, and sexy.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
See,
this is the best part about doing the video part of the podcast.
Right? You can actually get all these compliments with the fact that you've got your beautiful ring light cherub look. It looks like you're ready to just get the makeup up for the stage.
Well, thank you. You guys flatter me.
We just used to all do these things on audio on a phone call.
Exactly. That's what we're used to. Yeah. This is the first time we've done the video side, so we're really happy that you're here with us to kick off our first video live.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes,
wow.
You are a first live feed, and on top of that is, of course, our first day of FAPtober, where we are celebrating the month of October with, of course, wonderful guests such as yourself that have been in the spooky horror genre films. not to mention a lot of the other ones. But you, of course, Eileen, have been in so many, including The Exorcist, Halloween 2, Creepshow 3. I actually just watched you in The Assent the other day. And of course, you have you also have an upcoming film, or I think it just was released, was the 100 Acres of Hell, one of the newer ones.
That was actually released about 6 months ago, but it's new. Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's only hitting a lot of the other streaming sites just now, though, or maybe it's just getting up our way. I have not had a chance yet, but I'm looking forward to watching it over the Halloween month. I was reading the premises behind it. It looks really good. It is.
Yeah, excellent.
Tony and I are both horror buffs,
Perfect.
so
I can be one of those guests that just answer everything in 3 words.
Well, we got to be careful, you'd said, or you're going to take over on things.
I will.
Excellent. Well, before we get on with our show, Maddie G, how about we grace our listeners / viewers with, of course, one of our funny articles from around the world.
Let's kick it off.
Eileen, you can feel free to jump in and tell us your thoughts on these as we go through.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are completely true. We do fact check them, and but you wouldn't think they were. So the article reads,
outlandish.
Cops searching for chipmunk bandit. Was it Chip or Dale who held up a Louisiana pharmacy at gunpoint? Authorities from Evangeline Parish Sheriff's Office don't care what his name is, but they're hoping to catch the rodent thief soon. According to news outlet KLFY, an unnamed man in a chipmunk suit allegedly robbed the Medicine Chest pharmacy in Ville Platte, Los Angeles last week.
Where was it? In LA? Where?
Ville Platte.
Oh, Ville Platte?
Ville Platte.
I don't know.
Small town, I think. But
very small town.
Yeah. Sheriff Charles Guillory told the news outlet that security footage showed the armed suspect darting from the pharmacy's parking lot to the rear entrance of the store while forcing an employee back inside. Once inside the store, the furry suspect reportedly forced the employee through the store as she was ordered at gunpoint to fill a bag with unknown amount of medication. Guillory said that the chipmunk then walked out the back door and ran towards a nearby apartment complex. The suspect is still on the lam. It's unknown whether he's hiding out in nearby trees, but cops would like to catch him soon.
Oh wow, that's right up there with the alligator one, where just calling to rodent bandits or animals that are now taking the news.
It's just
COVID is definitely, yeah.
I mean, you could just I guess at one point, we got to give him props for wearing his mask inside a social area.
That's funny. I like that. That's really funny.
All right, we're gonna throw my news on now. Honestly, when I read this news article, I was somewhere caught between power laughing and disgusted all at the same time. So this article, the headline was, police seized 345,000 used condoms that were sold as new.
I read that.
That's not right.
Basically, yeah, I know, right? So police in Vietnam
melt them down to tires and into tires and call it a good year.
There you go.
Is it better to wear a used condom than not wearing one at all?
Hey, global warming, we got to recycle people.
Question. Right.
Assuming it doesn't have any holes in it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So the basically police said that there was well, I should say this was basically found in a warehouse of the South Province of Binh Duan in Vietnam. The police had said the bags weighed more than 360 kilograms, so that's about 794 pounds, the equivalent of 345,000 condoms. The owner of the warehouse said that they had received a monthly input of used condoms from an unknown person. They state to the newspaper that the woman detained had told them that the prophylactics were first boiled in water, then dried, and then reshaped on wooden phalluses before being repackaged and resold. It said it wasn't clear how many of the recycled condoms had already been sold, but the detained woman had received 17 cents for every kilogram of used recycled condoms she produced. Now, I was thinking of the math on that, and to basically wash, clean, repackage, and sell 500,000 condoms, she's only making $61.
And she has carpal tunnel.
She has what? She has what?
Carpal tunnel from all the.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, like, these are the scary stories. I mean, nowadays, I mean, first of all, you received a whole bunch of used condoms from an unnamed individual. Now, is it all coming from this one individual, or are they like going around and like dumpster diving for used condoms? Like, first of all, there's a whole back end of this gross job that we don't even know about.
And did she pay for them?
Right?
Did people find the condoms, sell them to her, and then she didn't make any money after all that work?
She's a reseller.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a wild story, man.
But
yeah,
to go through all that work and not make any money, that's a shame.
$61 worth.
Is $61 worth more in Vietnam than it's worth here?
I hope so.
I really hope so as well, because let's look at the cost of water, the materials to repackage, the employees' time to do it. There's no way they're making money. There's no way they could be breaking even on this job.
Dude, I'm gonna call you tonight at like 3 a.m. and be like, "You want to make $61?"
What's our timeline like?
Hey, I just hope people are using condoms.
Hey,
yeah.
I know,
we're gonna find out, right? Like next year's gonna be like an all-time high birth record, I bet.
Yeah, and divorces.
Yeah.
That's right up there.
That's happening now, that people are getting divorced. They realize spending that much time with someone is not what they want. It's like, I don't think this is going to work. Life is too short. And then
Nobody's figured that out.
Because I mean, I've never spent this much time with my husband. I mean, I'm out doing horror conventions or shooting films or going to see my manager. I've never spent this much time with my husband, and it's different.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to be saying, and I love him more and more every moment.
Oh, I do. He just walked into the room, and
yeah.
And I never spent this much time with you.
And he never spent much time with me.
There's the door, honey.
He just said, "There's the door."
He's like, "Did you describe it as different? I'll take it."
We live in an old monastery, and we always say we stay together because of the house. Not because of the kids, but because of the house. Because it's so beautiful here, and we're really so very, very lucky, and we'd never get a deal like this anywhere else, except for $1 trillion. Yeah. So we stay together for the house because neither one of us is leaving. So deal with it.
Hopefully, it's that you both love the house and not because you couldn't find a place.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said, hopefully it's because you both love the place and each other, and not so much about the fact that
we've been together over 30 years. There must be something going right.
Amazing. Yep. Congratulations. That's huge.
Congratulations.
These days, that's awesome.
I was going to say, that isn't just because like he gets to watch you die over and over in movies or something, is it?
That's a good point.
He doesn't watch half my movies. I don't know why. Well, I don't watch them either because Linda Thompson once said that she didn't want to watch herself grow old on screen. And it's really true. I still think I look like I did in General Hospital, and I'm always surprised to find out that I don't.
Well, we think you look great.
Thank you. Well, the lighting is great here. You can't see any wrinkles or anything.
Matt's got a filter for that.
I'm not using a filter. You want to see my pores, Tony?
I know, I'm just joking. That's what you get for having one of those really 4K high def cameras. That's
It's
fine.
weird, man. It's my family genetics. I still get carded at the beer store.
It's true. That's actually happened to me a couple times, believe it or not. So,
Are you ready for the second article?
Yeah, let's lay it on us there, Maddie.
All right, here we go.
But that's the third article, right?
Well, my second.
It's the second article.
The
Yes.
third, yeah.
Got to be accurate
Okay.
here.
Okay,
Someone's
that's
going to be
good
fact
point.
checking.
Good point. I like it.
That's
Keep
right.
me on my toes. NYC bans pooping on subways and buses. So you
What?
saw this coming.
I have
Yeah,
heard about
apparently
this. I've heard about this.
Can you say
Here we
it
go.
again?
New York City bans pooping on buses and subways. Like apparently it was socially acceptable.
Apparently there was no rule for this. Yes.
Can I say,
are
holy
people really
shit?
doing this?
Holy shit is right.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So the
Wow.
article reads, when you gotta go, you gotta go. But not on the New York City transit system. They frown upon that. So much that the Metropolitan Transportation Authority in New York has formally banned people from defecating themselves on its subways and buses. Wow, themselves. So, okay, so yeah, don't poop yourself, I guess. While relieving your bodily fluids is banned under its current rules, anyone caught doing so faces a $100 fine. The policy was amended to add defecating to the list, barred of bodily waste. So before you weren't allowed to pee yourself. So,
Well, you know,
That's
I've always
good.
wondered, actually, getting a little serious right now because we have a huge homeless problem here.
Yep.
Where do they defecate? Where do they pee?
well,
It's
exactly.
horrible. And they both LA and New York and anywhere else, probably Chicago and stuff like that. They should put the money into getting outhouses or whatever they call those things.
Public restrooms.
Yeah, outhouses is perfect.
Or
Yep, that's a great idea.
poop place.
Public
Or have
restroom.
a toilet car.
No. I like yours. Poop Palace.
Palace.
It's way better.
No, and they have other
No, I mean,
names for them. Like at sometimes at sporting events or on construction sites and stuff like that. No, I'm serious
Yep.
though. They have to build places because I've heard people like in West Hollywood, the big homeless population used to be under the freeways, and they got them out. They're everywhere. They're just everywhere in their tents. And people in West Hollywood, they're right by residential sections, and they're pooping.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and nobody gets on
No,
the subway here, so nobody takes the subway, so you don't have to worry about pooping in the subway.
They found out where the
That's why the
locations
subway's
were because
used.
the grass was always just a little longer than the.
No, it's really funny actually because when I lived in Toronto, every once in a while there'd be a train breakdown or something, and suddenly you realize you had to go to the bathroom. And I'm one of those people, I really despise public bathrooms just for the fact that you walk in and it's a mess. But I remember I was just like, no, I'm gonna have to go to one of these public bathrooms. And I went in, and there was a homeless person sleeping, and I actually felt bad enough that I left. Like I was just like, no, you need a place to sleep. You go ahead. But I was just like, I gotta find another place to be now. So
I agree with you about public bathrooms, but you have to. Sometimes you just gotta go.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
At least they're there.
Exactly.
Good point.
I think if anything, they should install on the very last car a seat that has the bottom cut out of it. Because if you really have to go, just go to the back car. Just drop farther back on the track.
That'll work.
Here's a fun question: If you could describe a public restroom using only one word, which word would you pick?
Ugh.
Okay, that's good. Tony?
That's exactly how I feel about the boot as well.
About the what?
I would call the boot, the UGG boot.
Ugg boots.
I find that they're
That must
crap
be a
anyways.
Canadian word.
Tony's very
Oh.
very punny. He's a very punny
but-
guy.
Yeah,
But a boot must be a Canadian word. I don't know what you're talking about.
a boot. Oh,
A boot.
have you ever heard of-
Burn.
It's not a boot that you wear in your feet. Is it?
Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
like a shoe, an UGG.
Oh,
Yeah.
so put it in that sentence again. What?
I was just saying that when you had said name of the bathroom and in one word, and you said UGG, I said that's how I feel about the
Oh, I
shoes
get
as well,
it.
the
I'm a
boots.
little slow on the uptake. Yeah. Or
It
I
took me a
can say
minute
two
too.
words. I can say thank God.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
it's like thank God.
I think
Anyway.
my word would be wet.
Wet?
Wet. Every time I enter a
They're always
public
wet.
bathroom, it's always wet.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
true. And
I
we
think,
have no
I
rain.
don't really have,
You know, we have no rain here, so it's coming from somewhere else.
you know where that's coming from. Yeah.
I
People
don't-
just wash
I
their
don't
hands and
actually-
just think like this.
This conversation is integrating.
Yeah. See, we officially met. You officially made our episodes potty talk. That
Hey.
never happened.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
We got to talk
Okay,
about the things behind the
I'm-
scenes.
That's right. Okay, I've got one last article. I'm going to make this real quick. I love the headline on this. Maybe some of you have heard about this, but this happened down in Australia of South Wales, New South Wales to be more specific. And the article on this one was titled "Husband Attacks Great White Shark That Bit His Wife." And basically what happened is his husband and wife were out surfing, and a shark attacked the wife. And the husband jumped off his board, landed on her board, and punched the shark in the face until it let go. And basically they got her to the hospital, and even though she had a bite, she survived and everything was fantastic. And all I could think after that was, if they ever have an argument again, I'd be like, but I punched a shark out for you.
That is a great point. And they
That's
say
a-
chivalry is dead.
That
Yeah,
is a great
right?
story. That's a really
Yeah.
good one. I like that.
Because I know a lot of people would be like, it's too late for you, the shark's got you. And they're just paddling off to safety.
We have insurance.
Yeah.
Talking about sharks, people, not talking about me again, asked me what the scariest movie I've ever seen was. And actually, one of them is Jaws. Just I was born in New York City, but we spent time on the coast, and just like the coast in Jaws, that movie just scared the fucking hell out of me. It's just like, oh my God. And we just saw it again at my manager's house, and it's still scary. But boy, when I was a kid, that thing just scared me to death.
It's funny. We had Joe Alves on the show, the man who created the shark from Jaws.
Oh my
And,
God.
it was, he was super fun, great stories about it. I would say that I don't think Jaws was ever those things that I would say, oh, it was such a scary movie. It scared me. But at the same time, I hated swimming ever since then. Like I saw it, and I'm just like, I go out into like, I remember we were in Florida and swimming in the ocean. I enjoyed it. And then I had that moment, like, hey, wait a minute, there's sharks in this thing. And then I was like, yeah, I'm going to get out now.
So if it didn't scare you, at least it stayed with you.
It definitely stuck with me. Yeah, for sure.
And that's the biggest compliment of all.
Right.
Well, speaking
true.
of stayed with you, that actually leads me into one of the questions I have specifically for you. So I wanna kick this off because when I was growing up, so I was born in '87. So when I was growing up, The Exorcist was like the only horror movie, and my family were all horror buffs, that I was not allowed to watch. And I know that I'm not alone in that. So I have to ask you, as a fan of the genre, and you being in that very involved in that genre, that must feel pretty awesome, that you were part of that.
Oh, it does. And not only that, but I mean, it's obviously totally changed my life. Eventually, it didn't happen right away, but so I do horror conventions. I've never done one in Canada. You guys got to get in touch with the Rue Morgue or whatever the other ones are and tell them to bring me in.
Yeah, the Fan Expo up here. Yeah.
You know, I shot a movie in Vancouver Island. Anyway, it's afforded me doing. I've been to the UK many times doing shows. Shot a movie in Birmingham. That's a yeah, I've been all over the world and in at least 30 states here, just doing conventions. And of course, it opened me up to um, shooting many, many indie films, horror films, which people ask me, do you ever want to do anything else? And I go, no. I like doing horror films. I get to play demons and witches and one vampire and zombies. And then sometimes I play victims. But I like scaring people. I like making people react, whether it's out of fear or love or crying or whatever it is. I think, to digress a little, it's one of an actress's jobs, or a writer's job really, is to be so identifiable that people in the audience can identify with you, which is what the genius of Dick Smith, the makeup icon on The Exorcist, did by creating the demon and thus Reagan as someone you could relate to. And the first makeup tests were like big eyebrows and fake teeth and hair, you know what I mean? And, it's like, oh, okay, another horror person. But he did it with just the scars, which still was 3.5 hours makeup, but, the scars and scratches and sometimes contacts and stuff like that. So that when people walked into when the audience saw the mom and the priest and everybody walk into the room and saw this thing, the audience can go, oh my God, that could be my daughter, and also kids can go, oh my God, that could be me. And I think that's one of the very, very important reasons why The Exorcist is still the film it is today, that people still are scared by it. And it's not some, like monster out there that it looks like it could be their kid or themselves.
And
I digressed a little.
Because it's very interesting because we were chatting before you arrived, and I was asking Maddie G about the effects for such a movie back in the 70s. It's just like they didn't have, like, it was groundbreaking in the way that the way they did the makeup, and even though it was simplistic, like you'd said, with cuts and scars and everything, it looked so good, and it was actually quite frightening. And it's true when you first see the mom walk in, and she's Regan's transformed now into the demon. It's scary. It's like one of those things, or even the simple of making it look like her head's turning straight around, and it was.
That's a funny story about that. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course we do.
And also, we'll talk about my book later, because it goes into much better detail, much fuller detail. And I sent Anthony a book. Maddie, I'm sure you can borrow it. But, Billy Friedkin didn't trust his actors that much, shall we say. So when, I think it's Mom, Kitty Wynn, and the doctor kind of walk into the room, and that's me on the bed, they shot off a gun. So the first time it was like really scary, right, for them? Like, oh my God, what was that? The second time it wasn't quite as scary. By the fourth time it was like, oh fuck, but that's one of the things like I write about in my book. And other times I tried to write funny stuff, because a lot of people know the horror stuff, but I tried to write a lot of funny stuff that happened on the set.
So I have to ask you, since you've mentioned it, and I don't know if you go into it in the book, so I do look forward to reading that, but there was a lot of talk about some really crazy things that happened on set, some very frightening things to a lot of people. And did you notice, or is there any kind of like truth to some of those rumors?
It's a hard question, because things happen on sets, like they had a fire, and people die. It took 14 months to shoot that movie, from pre-production to post-production. Now they shoot films in 6 weeks. So it's one of those things that you don't really know. Things did definitely happen. And there's a wonderful show on the streaming thing called Shudder. It's called Cursed. and it talks about apparently my segment was really good. So I've been told. I mean, I've actually got as much positive reaction from doing that show as I have from practically anything I've ever done. But and they, you know, they talk about The Omen, and definitely Poltergeist. I mean, because they just had horrible things. 3 people died after that movie, and they said they shot it over an old Indian graveyard. So, you know, those are the kind of things that it's like dying. Nobody really knows where you go.
Yeah.
The person who finds out is going to be a genius. So, you know, it's one of those things that you could really speculate. I wasn't with somebody when, you know, like the electrical fire happened or when people died.
Yeah. It's actually interesting. Now, just because you brought up the Poltergeist, was it actually shot on an Indian burial ground? Like, it wasn't just part of the storyline that the house was built on an Indian burial ground. They actually shot it there?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wasn't there. I do know Jo Beth Williams, who did the lead, and because when I shot Guiding Light, she was on it. We went to the Bahamas. Can you imagine working on a soap opera and going to the Bahamas? And then I drowned scuba diving, but I digress. Yeah, it was. I knew I was going to drown scuba diving before I got there. So my lifetime on Guiding Light was short. Yeah, it wasn't real.
Oh,
Anthony, it wasn't real. It wasn't real. But I did have to go down there a couple days early and learn how to scuba dive. Gee, poor Eileen.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the woman that taught us. She said, "You don't have to take this dive if you don't want to." And I looked and I went, "Yeah, want to bet?"
That's really funny.
Talking about sharks.
Yeah, right.
I don't think there were any sharks. I don't know if there were any sharks down there, but I guess I don't. I didn't see
stingrays. Maybe you see some stingrays.
Yeah. I also, believe this or not, of course you will. I shot a show in Turks and Caicos, and which was amazing on a little island called Grand Turk Island. And they invited my husband to come down for a week, and he was allowed to go scuba diving. The insurance policy wouldn't let me. So he did. He swam with the sharks and stingrays.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's exciting. That's like a bucket list. Most people.
I can see you doing a Snoopy dance. I can see you just thrilled with it.
Hey, I want to go to the Cayman Islands.
Oh, yeah. Snore.
Yeah.
But I did get in that I shot a show in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, I'd just love to go to Turks and Caicos. So
it was wonderful. And this was, like I said, it was a little island called Grand Turk Island, where they had to bring in. The only thing they had on that island were banks. No kidding. Probably a lot of money hidden there. But they had to import everything and bring in there. But I had a place on the beach, and it was incredible. And I played a character that was an apparition from the 60s. That didn't have one eye, but I got to wear one of those big antebellum dresses and stuff. God, the fun of being an actor, the perks of being an actor.
That is really cool.
Yes.
Well, you've done so much stuff outside of horror too. Like, is horror still your favorite go-to genre, or do you find that, like, do you enjoy doing the other stuff, the more dramatic stuff, as much? No. And that's perfectly good. I'm okay with that answer as a horror fan.
I played a therapist in a film called Shattered. Boring. You know, and other stuff that I can't even remember. No, I love doing horror, and I would just do horror, and I just did a podcast, so stop me if I said, did I say this before? That I play demons and witches and zombies and
yes, I was going to ask you about your part in. So you played one of the kind of the zombie-ish creatures in Constantine, correct?
I did. And it's a great face and a great thing, but unfortunately, it was shot for the opening credits, and they didn't have any opening credits. So I do sell that picture because it's so brilliant. The zombie makeup, and I thought I should say it was from The Walking Dead.
That's cool.
But no, right?
Okay.
Buy my picture from The Walking Dead. No, the thought just went
That's
through
great,
my brain. Yeah, it was kind of sad, but the experience of shooting it with Keanu Reeves was amazing. Keanu Reeves got to be one of the nicest people that you ever want to work with.
We've heard that, actually.
I've heard he is a wonderful person and just a very down-to-earth person.
Yeah, he was doing a band show at a theater in Hollywood, and I was there, backstage type thing at the theater, and he remembered me. And there were a gazillion characters in Constantine, but he said, "How are you?" I said, "You remember me?" And he said, "Yeah, we shot at the Santa Monica Pier." And I said, "Yeah, that was me."
Wow, that's amazing.
No, I've been really lucky. I mean, I got to work with Tony Perkins in a play called Steambath with Rob Zombie. With I did a show with Sam Waterston. I mean, I've gotten the chance to work with absolutely very, very wonderful people.
It was Rob Zombie that did Devil's Rejects, wasn't it?
Devil's Rejects and House of a Thousand Corpses, and I did Halloween 2 with him.
Very cool.
Yes, as I say, the Halloween 2 was with Rob. Yeah, it's a lot of beautiful, new movies that are coming out, and a lot of them are, of course, the Halloween classics that you've been so fortunate to actually have a hand in so many of them, which is it's got to be wonderful because like you get a lot of people who've been in maybe one or two of the big ones, but like you've just kind of been somewhere in all of these classics now, and you're becoming like that the name in Halloween horror movies.
Thank you. And I've done so much makeup stuff.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, what?
No, I've done so much makeup stuff. I always thought they should call me the Lon Chaney, makeup. My mother always said, "Aren't you ever going to play yourself? Show your face." It's a problem. I mean, Helter Skelter was also one of my very favorite projects. So I showed my face there, but my face was very dirty. I was one of the Manson guys.
We got to see, and of course, the Assent, and luckily it was one that you were not a demon or being killed in.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me play the monster in that. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I'm surprised. It was quite a good movie. I actually didn't see, obviously no spoilers out there, but I actually probably should have guessed where that ending was going, and I didn't actually read up till the end, so it was quite.
Oh, that's good. And Perry Teo
twist.
directed that. Yes. We should give him some credit. Perry Teo is an absolutely amazing director. I worked with him before on a film that will never be released called Pale Horse.
Oh, no.
And we won't go into that. But no, Perry's a great guy, and he's generous and wonderful and loyal and all that kind of stuff. So any of you people out there, if you see a film by Perry Teo, absolutely go see it.
I'll watch it. Yeah.
Now, have you ever had a chance at a role that you didn't get, that you thought you would have just crushed it?
Say it again?
Have you ever have you ever had a chance to try out for a role that you thought you would have been just perfect for, like in a horror movie where you didn't get it, and then you
for one?
Sorry?
Audition for a horror film?
Yeah, and then you saw it afterwards, and you're like, oh, you know what? I think I would have done a really great job with that.
No, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to I don't look that old. I don't think. But I do audition for a lot of grandmothers, and sometimes I think I just don't look old enough, for them. I mean, that's always the thing about casting, that once you've auditioned. Thomas is playing with my Exorcist doll. That's this. Did you hear?
Yeah.
I gotta show you this thing. This thing walks and talks and says three lines from The Exorcist.
Really?
So that happens a lot, and if you audition a lot, you don't do it, but you got to leave it behind and say, "Wow, I did the best job I could." They hired someone who was taller, who was shorter, who who's bigger, who was fatter. That, look, or told, it goes on. And now we do a lot of self-taped auditions, especially during COVID. And in fact, one just came in today. So in answer to your question, absolutely yes. The good news, now they're mostly indies and you never see them. There's,
but indies are making a big.
Oh, I think it's wonderful.
Yeah,
it's just
they're making a big show.
So many, and some of them just never get out of post-production. They just run out of money, or they're doing, GoFundMe kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you, like, you have so many upcoming titles listed on your IMDb. Is a lot of that actually started production yet, or is it kind of all waiting, given the fact that there's so much still kind of waiting to open up due to COVID?
What an excellent day for an exorcism. And I'm the devil.
That's awesome.
Now kindly undo these straps.
That's so awesome.
That head looks bigger than mine.
Awesome.
Yeah, the upcoming things, unfortunately or fortunately, some of them are so old and will never happen. And IMDb doesn't take them down. But a lot of them are definitely happening. I just finished shooting a movie called Halloween. Not Halloween, that was that one. Clown Motel 2, To Death Do Us Part. We went to Boulder, Nevada. It's the only time I've been out of the house, seriously, during this COVID thing. I'm absolutely serious. And decided to do it anyway. We had a GoFundMe, a Kickstarter account on that was very successful. And there'll probably be more, and you can go get some perks for some Exorcist stuff. Yeah, and I just did a film called Compatible, which was about a dating app gone wrong. And the interesting thing about that is that the people on the app can watch the people who are dating and decide if the guy was worth dating or not. It goes terribly wrong. My daughter's on the app. And so we did that. And our Kickstarter things are really good. If you see something, you should at least check it out. And I'm really excited. I'm shooting another movie called, I swear, I just got green. Another movie called The Bleeding Dark in 2 weeks. And Clown Motel 2 had 45 people going in and out during the shooting. This one, the cast is only 7 people, I think, and a very small crew. But it's about a home invasion gone terribly wrong, and nobody ever tells what happens to the people after a home invasion, nor murders or kidnappings or stuff like that. So this is about what happens to the husband and the son after his wife is killed, and the husband can't even go out of the house. He's so acrophobic, and he sees his wife as a ghost and stuff, and the son thinks his wife is walking. It's a really, really good thriller, and I actually play the aunt in that one, but she's kind of a bitch. So that's
we get to see every side of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in Clown Motel 2, I had a great time. I played the Queen of the Clowns with this great makeup on, and she was royal and regal and bitchy, and one scene she's also very vulnerable. So that was really fun. That's going to be a really fun movie, and I think it's going to be even better than Clown Motel 1, which is done really, really well.
Awesome. I gotta check that out.
That's definitely a horror movie for me.
I think
I'm
both
not a
of
big
them.
clown
I
fan.
think,
Yeah.
you know what?
Oh, we were saying Tony and I both
very-
hate clowns, but we were gonna watch that movie.
Are you afraid of clowns?
Yeah.
Why?
I think it was just I watched it when I was really young. I'm not necessarily not so much now, but when I was a kid, that was like one of the very first scary movies I ever watched. So
yeah, same with me.
Were you scared by it? Did you watch it?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I watched the newest one. as well.
Yeah.
It took me a lot to actually watch the new one, knowing that the first one scared the living crap out of me. And Tim Curry was actually even Tim Curry without the makeup. When I saw him in other stuff do that weird grin of his, I was just like, "Whoa,
Dude, Home Alone 2, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he does
I'm
that
like,
look.
It's him.
Yeah.
I didn't think.
Yeah.
I don't think It 1 and It 2 is all that good. I'd rather. I mean, there's a lot of things. I just rather go back to the originals. You know, like
Yeah.
Halloween, and I shot Halloween too. But and the classics are classics because they're classics.
What'd you think of the new Pet Cemetery?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No,
Yeah,
I don't
actually
like
yet
to
see
see.
it as well.
I don't like to see films about little kids that get killed. Like Cujo.
That was the
but I
difference,
think-
right?
Right.
I find that with horror movies, when we were younger, it was really interesting because all of like the Nightmare on Elm Streets and the Halloweens and everything, there was always this unwritten rule that kids did not get killed. So when eventually you see that first movie where they actually kill a kid, I was just like, no, there's no safe ground. Like there was like all bets were off. There was no one safe anymore.
Oh,
You know,
Stephen
and it was
King
a
loves
real,
that. Yeah, Stephen King loves to kill kids.
yeah.
I'm
I think
surprised he didn't kill
secretly
the
he
little
hates
boy.
children.
I'm surprised he didn't kill the little boy in The Shining.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, they changed
Yeah.
the ending from the book in Cujo. In the book,
Really?
the little boy gets killed.
Oh.
I loved
right, he
Doctor
does.
Sleep though. The
Pardon?
sequel to
Yeah.
Doctor Sleep.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that. That was good.
I thought it was really well done, and the tie-ins to The Shining, and yeah, I don't know, we really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, we saw Mr. Mercedes. And obviously we've been home. I mean, I think we have much more of a problem than Canada does.
Yeah.
An extraordinarily big problem here. So we did streaming things like, you know, practically never seen before. What was the other? There was another I can't think of the name of it, but it was 2 big seasons from it. And the first one I didn't like so much, but the second one I really liked. They picked up on Misery. I can't think of the name of
Okay.
it. I want to say Kickstarter, and it's not Kickstarter, but
Yeah, there's Indiegogo and GoFundMe and all these versions now.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of sequels and reboots. You know, I think people, if they really, you know, and the only thing that keeps them going is because people go see them opening weekend, and they shoot them for very little money. And by opening weekend, because of name recognition, they've made their money back. And so if the fans don't support it, then they would, the studios, of course, I'm talking about, they would do more and more films like indie films and James Wan films.
Yeah.
Conjuring and Insidious. I mean, look what happened with James Wan, because he did those movies, and they're good. They're really good.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Conjuring,
Some of them
I really
are
like. Some of the
very
spin-offs
good
are a little campy.
throwbacks. Yep. Yeah.
We should talk about.
Sometimes a good old campy horror film is a good horror film. Like I love watching some of the campy ones.
Like what?
What was one of the ones? Well, you look at things like Monster Squad and some of those older. They're just
Critters.
kind of fun.
Remember Critters?
Horrors. Critters, yeah, Critters and Ghoulies.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Those
those are great. I'm talking about. I'm just talking about reboots and sequels.
Yeah.
No, some of those old. Listen, go watch the '50s sci-fi films. They're great.
Oh yeah.
Day of the Triffids, The Day the Earth
Yes.
Caught Fire.
Yeah.
You know, obviously.
The Day the Earth Stood Still.
I thought the remake was terrible, but the original is just so amazing. So yeah,
It wasn't fully horror, but I remember watching. I love the movie, the Tremors movies. Remember those with the graboids?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That was kind of horror in a weird way.
Yeah, like it was very Yeah.
See, in my book, I separate horror from thrillers because horror, especially today, and bad horror, is just all about let's see how many people we can kill, let's see how much blood we can use, how much stuff like that. But thrillers, and you'd have to reclassify really The Exorcist as a thriller. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is on the edge. Even Halloween, there's not that much blood and guts. It's a thriller, like you said, Nightmare on Elm Street. I have to classify them as thrillers. So you can classify Tremors as a thriller. I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have to ask you, what is the scariest movie that you've seen, say, in the last 5 years? Is there anything that just really stood out to you?
I can tell you the first 2 horror movies that scared me.
Yeah.
Psycho was the first horror movie I ever saw. And of course, that's scared me. I didn't want to take a shower for a long time, but I had to.
Bates Motel?
And then it was Night of the Living Dead. And I saw that in a theater in New York. And I walked home alone because my boyfriend was doing something. And I thought zombies were coming out of every post, every traffic thing, every waste paper basket. I mean, everything. But I don't know. You asked me what scares me. I don't know they scare me, but I can tell you things that I'm fascinated by. I mean, I love The Conjuring, the first one.
Yeah.
And I like Insidious a whole lot. I like the George Romero. Not George Romero. I love all the George Romero's films, by the way. Rob Zombie's film, Salem something.
Oh.
It just went out of my head. But as far as actually being scared, I know I've been scared because I remember putting my hands over my eyes, watching something, but I can't remember what it was. Damn, it was something I saw recently.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Oh, actually, well, now I'm going to have to think of the name of it. Thomas Churchill did an anthology of 3 horror films, 3 horror things, and there were 3 of them, and that one of them really scared me. I kept saying, but what about the baby? What about the baby? Thomas Churchill did really good films.
Yeah. Actually, we have Thomas slated for later this month.
Made me go away. I just did a film for him called Amityville Harvest. And you got to go see that and see what happens to me at the end. It's kind of horrific.
Okay.
All right.
And
well, it's funny because I've seen a few trailers for it.
Pardon?
I was saying I've seen a few trailers for the Amity Horror, and I look forward to seeing that one.
Did you see the picture on Facebook of me?
For Amityville Horror? No, I haven't. No.
Are you friends with Thomas Churchill?
I am, yep.
I'll go back, you'll see it. Or I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
We have to mention 100 Acres of Hell. Stacy Toy is the one who introduced me to you.
Yes, that's wonderful. And she was a fantastic guest on our show a few months back, actually. And I was going to ask you about 100 Acres of Hell. That's another one that has come out just recently as well for you. And I think we have a few other guests coming up that also are from other horror genres that are on
Probably
100 Acres of Hell.
Stacy told them all to call you.
Yeah, there's a few people, but
she's a hoot.
She's almost like my sister, and she's so successful, and she's so out there, and she's so loyal. I haven't seen her in a long time. She comes out here for the Grammys, but we've never been able to catch up with each other. But I met her when I did 100 Acres of Hell.
I think she's promoting. Yeah. She's trying to get the F word going. I actually just messaged her the other day because I was seeing where the copy of that was because I wanted to check it out. The movie that she's working on. It's called The F Word. I don't know if you saw it.
I don't know.
It's really interesting. It's about a teacher who gets into cross-dressing and how his life starts to unfold when people find out. And it was made as a joke, but then he realizes that
he gets into what?
Cross-dressing.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's very dramatic, but it looks great. So
talk about newspaper headlines. Did you see the headline about a school teacher that has tattoos all over his face
I
and his
did
body.
Yeah.
see that. Yeah.
You wondered why he
Yeah.
got fired?
Well,
So
and that's
I guess what gets me about that whole article, and I do actually sympathize with him in the way that he was hired. He had tattoos when he was hired. He didn't have black eyes when he was hired, but he did have the tattoos. So to not say something or reprimand him and then just fire him after he gets his eyes tattooed black is, I think, against a human rights thing. At least up here in Canada, it is for sure.
Oh, I agree.
but,
They probably held their breath and said something. Okay, we're going to let this go, but don't do anything else. We're gonna go with this. And maybe the guy just defied them and got black eyes or stuff like that.
Apparently, the only reason they fired him was because the child said that he was having nightmares because of his teacher. Now, he was also a kindergarten teacher. So if you look at this guy, there is no real estate left on his body that is not covered in tattoos. And then on top of that, he's had the whites of his eyes basically blacked out with a special tattoo ink. So he kind of looks like a demon. And yeah, no wonder why there are, like, I mean, if I basically saw that as at the age of like 5 years old, I probably would crap my pants in the middle of the night too.
If I started at 20, I could feel the same way.
Well, it's an optics thing too. I think a lot of parents are against, still to the day, are against tattoos and stuff like that. So they see an educated person that's educating their child, and they think that there's always going to be that transfer of from a position of authority where kids want to mock or mimic and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So
That's true. I've always had a thing about tattoos. I've always thought you do one or two little ones, but anyway, they say it's addictive.
Yeah, I've never found it as an addictive thing, but I definitely.
A lot of people have
the
Pazuzu. They got Pazuzu on their legs and their arms and stuff like that.
Now, I find that really strange because and it's so funny that we have made mention of the demon character that you played, but the actual name Pazuzu hadn't been passed around, and it's, I think, because there are for as many people who have tattoos of it, there is probably just as many of people saying don't ever say the name itself. There's some type of superstition behind people actually uttering the words Pazuzu.
I have never heard that.
Really?
Ever.
Yeah. No,
I've never heard that.
there's a bunch of people out there who like don't ever say his name. It's like it's almost like the
Macbeth?
Candyman, you don't say it.
Oh, they've done that
Yeah.
with Macbeth forever. You can't say the word in the theater, or the show won't go on.
Oh,
It's very
really? I
interesting.
didn't know
yes,
that one.
yes.
Interesting.
You can't say. You have to say the Scottish show.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. All
Yeah,
right. Well,
but-
how about we quickly jump over to the second part of our show, which is the 20 not as rapid. How do we recall that now, Maddie?
We don't even
rename
give them a number because there is no set number, but it's called slightly
right.
slower than average rapid fire questions.
Never done one of those. I've seen them, but I never
Okay.
did one.
You're in for
So
a
I have
treat.
no time to think ever. Can I pass?
No, this is
You can pass.
You can
totally.
pass,
Okay.
but you just give us the first thing that comes to your mind when Maddie
Okay.
asks you a question.
All right, here we go, and I'll
All right.
talk a little. I'll bring the mic a little closer because sometimes it's hard to hear. All right,
I feel like I should play like that air horn music.
No, I
First
can hear you
question.
fine, but go on.
what made-up word would you register into the English language?
You got me on the first one. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay, well, you gonna pass?
Is there like a common thing that you would say that doesn't actually a real word, but you're like, I'd say it?
I have a million of them. I just can't think of them. I make up words all
all-
the time.
Okay.
It's always when you're on the spot, right? All right, question.
Yeah.
Second question. What's the scariest dream that you can remember?
The scariest what?
Scariest dream that you can remember.
Oh, well, with me, it's an actor's dream that you're suddenly on stage and you don't know any of your lines and you're naked.
It always.
And you always
I
think
had a
it's-
dream.
You always think it's true.
Um,
That's so funny because I just had a dream the other day that terrified me. I was at a convention, and a horror convention. I forgot all my pictures. and I was afraid to tell my manager. So then I thought maybe I could just print them, and then I realized they were on paper, and it was awful, and I thought it was real.
And it was a damn HP inkjet, and it took forever.
I know. Actually, that happened with me. I was working at a haunted house, and I forgot my Pazuzu pictures. Captain Howdy, Anthony. My Captain Howdy pictures. And I realized it because I was offered to give one to the maintenance man that night, and I realized I didn't have them. And I had a guarantee of how much money I was going to make, and I couldn't make that money if I couldn't sell Captain Howdy pictures. So fortunately, I got my husband on the phone, and he was home, and he FedExed them, and I got them the next day. Because I couldn't have gotten my guarantee if I didn't have. And then it rained, but that's something else. So yeah, those were the scariest dreams that I had.
There you go.
Am I supposed to give one-word answers?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you don't have to be super fast.
That's why they're slightly shorter.
Yeah, see, slightly slower than average rapid fire questions.
Yeah.
If you could pick a superpower, which would it be?
Probably going from place to place in a wink of an eye.
So teleportation?
Teleportation.
Yeah. Or you know what?
that's a good one.
I take Dr. Spock from Star Trek, and I'd be able to heal people by touching their heads or their necks.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Vulcan power. We've never had Vulcan mind powers, so I'm really happy we got it.
Yeah. Our Trekkies out there, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's your earliest childhood memory?
Well, I have a twin sister, or had a twin sister, and I just remember, and my mother said we used to just talk to each other in a language that nobody else knew, and doing things with her all the time. So that's my earliest memory. When I was 7, I knew I wanted to be an actress, and my mother took us to see Peter Pan, and I thought that if I jumped on the stage, I could be one of the lost boys. And then I thought if I missed the stage, I'd end up in the audience, and that wouldn't be good.
Nice.
And I'll talk about my book later, because all of that's in my book.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll definitely get into your book for sure. All right. What activity makes you the happiest?
2, actually. My husband and I have a boat, and we take it out to the coves of Lake Mojave, which is outside of Laughlin, Nevada, or here in Canada, but it's out there. And there's nobody at the coves. You have to bring in everything, your tent, your sleeping bag, your cooler, and all that kind of stuff. And there's nobody there. And we don't do anything. We don't fish. We don't do anything. We just kind of sit there and take it in. And there's nobody there, so we go skinny dipping.
Nice.
And the other thing that we share, kind of believe it or not, we're football, gambling, degenerates. We bet on football. And every year, they do have something they call Canadian football, right?
Yeah, you know what? Most Canadians watch American football.
Yeah, I think my sister does. My sister lives on Vancouver Island. She used to live in Colorado, and she brings in the Denver Broncos.
Nice.
But
I'm in a fantasy league, so I watch American football.
Oh, well, that's good. Good luck to you. We would never do that because it takes away, instead of betting a team, you're betting players. And it's a whole different, it takes so much time. But we've gone to Vegas every year for about 30 years for the opening of the football season and for Thanksgiving and Christmas, because I love college football. And we bet on all the bowl games, but we're not going this year because of COVID. It's the first time in 30 years we didn't go. There's no way. I mean, sitting in a sports book with people, if they're smoking, they pull down their mask to smoke or eat or drink. And of course, and I just heard this on the news too, as far as doing sports, that when you're screaming and yelling for a team, spit comes out of your mouth and your nose. You can't help it. And if they're eating and drinking, they don't have a mask on. So after I shot this movie Clown Motel 2 that I just did up in Boulder, we were so close to Vegas. We went there overnight, and we saw how the sports books were, and it was very late, and a lot of people not wearing masks, and our decision not to go, we fortified it because we were saying maybe we should go. We knew that was not the place for us, and COVID inadvertently, I guess it's inadvertent, attacks people of color, people who have underlying diseases, and older people. And Thomas and I are getting into the older people part, so we're kind of scared and smart. That's why I haven't gone anywhere except I went to Boulder to shoot this movie, and everybody did wear masks and they did take temperatures and stuff like that. So that was cool. Except when you act, you can't wear a mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell everybody out
there, you're playing safe.
Please, if you're watching this, I guess Canada, if you're watching it in the United States, please wear a mask. Even the guy from the CDC thing said that's, he's the expert on communicable diseases. And he said wearing a mask is just as good as a vaccine and even better. So that's my little thing here right now. I hate them. I have allergies. I have trouble breathing and stuff, but I wear them, not for me, but for the people that I'm around. And I don't want to kill anybody. So please wear a mask.
It's great advice.
In fact, a friend of mine over in Boulder, he had a Captain Howdy mask. Maybe I should sell them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy, man. It's cool.
Making money off pandemic. I mean, that would be nice. Pandemic. That would be nice.
Think of the people that run the sanitizer companies.
The who?
Yeah.
The sanitizer companies. I'm sure they're doing all right.
Yeah. They were.
Yeah.
Now they're everywhere. And now people just have to use them. Any more questions? I need some more rapid fire questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. If you
I told you I would be different, Anthony.
Hey, we love it. What foreign language would you most like to learn?
Spanish, actually, because of where I live.
Okay.
Nice. If you could relive a decade, which would you choose?
Oh, the 60s.
Very cool.
I mean, I shouldn't do that. The 60s for music, because I don't think there ever will be a time. And I'm stuck in the 60s with music, but, the Doors, the Beatles, the Mamas and Papas, Jimi Hendrix, the Rolling Stones. I don't think Pink Floyd. I don't think anybody's ever going to come even close to that. So the 60s. And then the 70s, because I shot The Exorcist. I did a whole lot of TV shows in the 70s. And then I did General Hospital in the 80s, but it was the early 80s. So, yeah, that's a good question. I like that. And I was young.
Well, here's a curveball for you. Do you believe in aliens?
Oh, absolutely. You don't mean immigrants, do you? No.
Well, they are true either way.
No, I believe that there has to be something other than us, but I don't think they want to come here. We're too messed up.
Agreed.
Yeah. I always.
I mean, who would want to come here? They come close and go, "What? Riots, presidencies, blah blah blah, people kill each other, viruses." No, we're not coming there.
Pass. We'll pass on Earth. How's Mars look?
I mean, you have to watch Star Trek, which we watch all the time here, and and believe in aliens.
Cool. How would you spend $100 million?
Wow. I've always wanted to be a philanthropist. I really did. I just a lot of that would be to help people and to feed people. Especially, I don't see why any child should have to go hungry. And I'd want to feed people. I want to help people. I want to give everybody free insurance here, free medical here, even if I had to pay for it. A guy named Bloomberg, who is running for president, who's a billionaire, probably a trillionaire, and he just sent, I think it was $30 million down to Florida because they passed a law in Florida. Oh, am I digressing? I'm sorry, but they passed a law in Florida that prisoners that got obviously out of prison could vote. And then they came down and they said, not if they owed money or fines. So Bloomberg paid for all their fines so they can vote. Vote, everybody, vote. Please go out and vote. For your American fans, please go vote November 3rd. Yeah. You have to go vote. And you young people who are watching this who probably never voted before, it's fun. You really feel like you're doing something great. So please, please don't say it doesn't matter. It does. Okay. So
it's all I always say about voting.
To my family, anybody, definitely give money to my family and make sure that everybody was doing well. And I'd probably produce some movies.
Very cool.
I definitely would produce some movies and use all my friends.
Yeah. One thing I should say about voting is that if you don't vote, then you can't complain. So at least if you vote, you have the right to complain about your point of view on things. But if you don't bother going to vote, then we don't want to hear it.
Exactly. No, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
And if you don't vote, you also realize that you're going to be responsible for what's ever happening in this country. So, and not only for president, but for our senators that make the rules and stuff. But you got nice eyes. I'm sorry, Anthony. I'm just complimenting him.
No.
You're cute too.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Matty does. It's hard to get lost in his eyes all the time.
If you don't vote, the demon is going to come get you.
Yeah. Thank you. Now I lost my place, you guys.
You traded thought on all these compliments.
What gets on your nerves? What's your biggest pet peeve?
People who don't call me back.
Yeah.
I hate it. And people, not call, nobody uses the phone anymore, but that don't text me, or particularly people you're used to hearing from. And all of a sudden you don't hear.
Are you more of a texter, or do you prefer the call?
Oh, I'm a texter.
Yeah.
Because I talk too much and it takes too much time. Suddenly I'm on the phone for 20 minutes. No, I really like texting. I like Facebook messages. As long as they're not private. You can use my private Facebook if you want to buy things, but that's it. If you want to advertise something or talk about something, then send me a notification. Yeah. And talking to your question, it really bothers me that people who go on my chats just to say hello or to promote something, I get really annoyed. And every once in a while, I very nicely say, look, my chat is to sell stuff or for friends and relatives, close friends and relatives. Some people get really mad. Say, you're such a bitch. I heard you were a bitch. You probably fucked over Linda Blair or something. Not fucked over.
All right. What's the best thing you've ever eaten?
I love lobster. I love it.
Hey, me too. I'm a seafood guy.
Yeah.
Maine lobster.
Tony's not.
The best lobster is from Maine.
Yep.
Nice.
We have a really good lobster on our East Coast. So like Nova Scotia for us. Fresh off the boat every morning. You're going to have to invite
me up there and take me out for lobster.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So Canada's a nice place.
Do they do any horror conventions in Ontario?
There's been, I haven't been to one, but it's crazy. Like my cousins are huge horror buffs, and I'm sure that they're going to get mad at me for saying that I haven't been to one, but they definitely do up here. So
yeah.
Well, we have to get me up there, and then you guys can take me out for lobster.
There we go. Done deal.
Yep. Shrimp and lobster's not bad.
Yeah. I haven't had Maine lobster.
Really good lobster. You go to the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, we used to go out to Brooklyn, and they used to have great lobsters out there.
Yeah, and prawns that are with a little bit of garlic butter. Oh. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah. Goes back to the food question. Yeah.
But we usually eat lobster on birthdays and special occasions and stuff like that. Actually, talking about football, I made a bet with a friend of mine about the Cincinnati Bengals. He said that they'd win more than 7 games, and they won 1. So he owes me a lobster dinner.
There you go. You better collect on
Very
that.
nice. Yeah, collect on that one.
All right, and the last question I have for you today. What's the favorite podcast you've been on in the last 12 hours?
Yours. No.
I like there was no hesitation there. That's fantastic.
Good
I did
answer.
a podcast right before yours, which never happens, that I did them back to back. So I
There
hope
you
he's
go.
not listening to this.
Wow.
And
I
hey,
loved his
no.
too.
We'll unlist. We'll unlist it so he doesn't see it.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's called. It was called Sledge Shock. And it was totally different than this one. This one's actually
wow.
more fun because we're doing things that aren't about me.
Hey, honestly, it's funny when Tony and I were designing the show. This was over a year ago now. We said celebrities. We want to know the celebrity that's hanging out in their PJs on a Thursday night watching Netflix. That's the person that we want to know and talk to.
Celebrities are people too. It's
You got me.
So
you got
we
me.
like to showcase when you're real. Yeah.
Okay. While we're talking, I got to get this guy's name right. So, just
well, we have to give a shout out now.
I mean, because that would be the right thing to do, right? So his name is Sledge. Oh, it's Sledgehammer Horror.
Cool.
Ah, okay.
Well, shout out to Sledgehammer Horror.
Yeah, we'll plug them because they asked me. He asked me that when it's done, if I put it on social media, and of course I'll put yours on social media too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
We can't ask for more. It's excellent. So let's quickly talk about your book before you go.
Can I talk about my little store?
Sure.
Yes, of course. Please. This is a great time to let our listeners know about all things you.
Yeah, we've been on an hour and 40 minutes. Is that right?
Oh, we started the stream
no.
actually earlier. We were doing some testing and stuff, but no, it hasn't been.
Yeah. So
I think it's been an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. Well, first of all, if any of you people out there want to get anything from me, the best thing to do is talking about chats. Is come to my chat on Facebook, and we'll talk about the details and price. Or you're allowed to email me at eileen@eileendietz.com. So we talked about my book, which is here.
Yes.
And I sent one to Anthony, and I'll try and be brief about it. The beginning of the book is about dreams and not giving up your dreams, no matter what people say, because everybody put me down for being an actress. I was little. I'm still kind of little, I guess. But I was very small and flat-chested, and I had buck teeth. And they said, "Oh, you're not pretty enough. You're not sexy enough. There's too many, blah, blah, blah." And I obviously persevered anyway and did. So don't talk about it a lot. If you want to open a costume shop or a bakery or have kids, go for it. So that's what the first part about it. And then we go into how that little girl became an actress. And the book was written with a guy named Dan Louvier, and it'll make you cry. It'll make you laugh. First professional job I had was like the Me Too thing out here in the United States, where the guy brought me all the way to Michigan for one reason. Or I went to see Peter Pan when I was a kid. Did I talk about that? No.
Yeah. Just briefly, you mentioned Peter Pan.
And there are all kinds of stories. And then I go into The Exorcist, and you'll learn anything you want to know about the film. But I tried to concentrate on a lot of funny stuff, because we know about the horror stuff. Okay. So there's a lot of very funny things that happened on the set that I'm not going to tell you about now, but they're really, really very funny, obviously. And then
you need to get the book to find out.
Yeah. And I talk about the audition, how I got the audition, about the screen test, about meeting Dick Smith and all that kind of stuff. And the end is the ending is old now, but things that just happened recently. So that's that. We showed you the doll.
Yes.
Pazuzu!
Oh, you've got Pazuzu statue as well.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Some people say that they're like gargoyles and they'll protect your house. Because Pazuzu is a fallen angel. And so this is for sale. Pazuzu, It is 12 inches tall, and it's made of resin. But everybody needs one of those. And
What's
I don't
that?
have it. I don't
What's
have
that
it
in
here.
his groin areas? Hazuzu packing or what?
I think Pazuzu's
What?
packing.
I said, what's that near his groin areas? Hazuzu packing or what?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I can do that.
Yeah.
I also have.
It is anatomically correct, Pazuzu.
That's a snake.
Oh no! Oh.
And if you, I don't have the picture in front of me, but I have a picture of me going. You see the back, and I'm on my knees, and you see Pazuzu in the background, and he has a
Yes.
snake. Or
On the
I
film.
keep saying he. It's not. It's not a she.
Yeah.
And just quickly added to that, I have a whole slew of pictures. If you go on Facebook, you'll see it. My website's going to go up in a week or two, which is eileendietz.com. And I sell the Exorcist script, the original script from the show. And you can sit in your living room and read all the parts. It's really fun. And I have an
That's
Exorcist
awesome.
beanie and pins and greeting cards and all that kind of stuff. So that's
Very
how you get in
cool.
touch.
I just picture me buying the script and then my kids getting home from school and me and my wife are acting out the Linda Blair scenes from The Exorcist. What the fuck, Mom and Dad?
And I said, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and very quickly, I really want to say that I just finished shooting Clown Motel 2, which is better than Clown Motel 1. I think it's just a really fun, scary, humorous film. And I'm going to go in 2 weeks to shoot a film called The Bloody Night, which is great. It's a very small thriller horror film about what happens after a home invasion, where the father feels responsible for his wife being killed and he becomes acrophobic. He can't leave the house because if he does, he just sees ghosts of his dead wife. And the kid thinks that the mother is still running around. I play the aunt, who's kind of a real bitch. And says, get off it! Come out of the house! You know, people like that. And say, let it go! And stuff like that. And then bad things happen to me. And I have a couple films that are going to come out before Halloween. One was Thomas Churchill's Amityville Harvest. And when you see the end of the film, you'll see what happens to me in that one, because it's kind of really. And this other thing, Dark Offerings, which was the first film, I think, we shot it all following safety precautions. So everybody was in their houses and, you know, did a lot of self-tapes and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool. It's about this woman's brother who's possessed. And the only way he can get unpossessed, is that a word? There's a word for you, unpossessed.
Yeah. Unpossessed.
Is to infect 6 other people. So she calls a reunion, a Zoom, and it's very bloody and stuff like that. So that's really fun, and that's coming out.
Like a real life chain letter.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it was a brilliant idea that you could do, that would make sense to do during the pandemic. You know what I mean? So that's called Dark Offerings. And I always have to mention my friends. They're called Fuzz on the Lens, and they're my brother, and they did a comedy horror film called Abnormal Attractions. And it's about these monsters, every monster you can think of, like Yetta and Bigfoot and all those people that live in this town with the people. And the racist part of it is that the monsters hate the people and the people hate the monsters. And Abnormal Attraction is a therapy group for people to not like the monsters. And it's very funny. And that's
that sounds
been
awesome.
for a long time. And it's called
really
Abnormal
cool.
Attraction.
Very
And I'm
cool.
sure there's
Very
others
cool.
there, but I can't think of it. I'd have to look at my IMDb and go, oh shit, I forgot that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my
for
goodness,
all our listeners,
I work so much that I just can't possibly. I mean, I hate it.
Oh, you Hollywood types.
I know. You said,
Yeah.
hello, how are you? And they go through all their credits. I said, I didn't ask you about your credits. I asked you how you were. But this is an iPod. You know, this is a podcast, so it doesn't count.
that's
I was
right. Well,
quiet about
you know,
myself for a long time.
yeah.
The whole beginning, I got you guys quiet and stunned, but the whole beginning of the show, it was fun. I loved it.
Good.
Did we finish the one-word questions?
Oh yeah,
yes, we did get through our questions. Yep. Which is,
you answered the most
fantastic.
important one, which was the last one. So
That's
Oh,
right.
that's
Matt's just leading up all the other stuff. He doesn't pay attention.
So what? I was talking over you.
I was saying that Matt was just leading everybody up to the last one, and I think he loses attention after a while. No, I'm just teasing. Matt's always fantastic.
That
I want you, everybody, to go vote and to wear a mask, okay?
now I'm voting, and I'm not
That's
even
right.
American.
That's right. Matt won't be able to sleep unless he votes.
Yeah, must vote.
God, that might be one of Trumpster's fraud. Can't vote by mail. Fraud. Of course, he was
Right.
voting by mail since the 1950s, and there's no fraud. And
Right.
he's been voting by mail, and he won in 2016. So, what about the fraud there, right? So anyway,
I
go
watched
vote.
the debate. Go vote.
Yeah, and I promise
know.
not to
It's
get
true.
political.
Please, people
I
vote.
don't, I'm not saying who you should vote for. Do your research, watch things if you watch the debate, but please go vote and vote for senators. And please, please wear a mask. They say it's the only thing that's going to help us right now. And like I said, somehow Canada, I'm not sure what Canada did. Did they lock down? Did people wear masks? I know people have great medical care. I mean, there's people here that can't even afford to go to the doctor.
We did
so
both
please-
those things
didn't get
very
rid of-
quickly.
We also didn't get rid of our World Health Organization professionals either. So we were kind of on top of things and listened to them.
Like, we might need these folks.
My sister
Yeah.
lives on Vancouver Island. Actually, she writes comedy mysteries. You should have her on the show if it's not all horror.
Yeah.
That's very
You know,
cool. Yes.
Vancouver Island, she's written 18 crime mystery comedies. They're all very funny. There's one.
Very cool.
Throw darts at a cheesecake. It's about a Weight Watchers group, and everybody gets killed when they reach their goals and their weight. And they got 2 nuns in there, and they got people like that. They're very funny books. She has one book.
That sounds
called-
great.
That's awesome. That is
I'm
awesome.
going to email you.
Yeah.
I will tell you her information. She talks more
Yeah,
than I
that'd be
do.
wonderful.
Cool.
You really have to interrupt her, because I found out that most writers tend to talk a lot, and everything's descriptive. It's not
It's
like
the
I got
internal
on.
voice, right? Just comes out.
Yeah.
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 It's not like I got on an airplane and flew to Canada. It's like I got on an airplane. I was sitting next to this man. He was snoring. He was fat. You know what I mean? And it's all. But my sister's great, and I also have to put
Wonderful.
a plug in for my manager, Chris Rowe, and he's been to Canada. He handled George Romero, which, by the way, everybody who's interested in horror should look up all of George Romero's films. The scariest movie I ever saw when I was a kid was Night of the Living Dead, and his newer ones. He lived in Canada before he passed last year. Did you know
Yes,
that?
it's true.
There
was
Survival
always
of
the
the
rumors
Dead
been around.
and Diary of the Dead are really good movies. They didn't do that well, but everyone during the pandemic. So Chris handles Malcolm McDowell. He handled George Romero, people like that, and he's a great guy. And my career was stalled, and he found me actually through Dee Wallace, and he found me, and the rest, as they say, is history. So I'm giving a shout out to Chris Rowe.
Yeah. Wonderful.
That's awesome.
Well,
And he can have
amazing.
some of that money too.
So.
How much was it? $100 million?
Yeah.
100 million.
Some-
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's got some real
That
cool
is great.
projects he'd like to shoot, so I'll just back all his projects. Can we make that happen, Maddie?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, Eileen, I super appreciate you spending some time with us. We will, for our listeners that are going to be out there, make sure that we post up Eileen on our guest section of our website, as well as her social media links and how to get to her books, and also to her website when it comes up. So look out for that. So if you are
Yeah, it's
listening
like
to
an
this episode-
infomercial commercial. You know, you can
That's
get
right.
my book. Not only that, but you can get a free pen. Only here. Not on Amazon.
Only here.
No,
Yes.
actually, you can get it on Amazon, but don't get it on Amazon because you won't get an autograph. But anyway, you guys, you
That's
have been
right.
great. I really had a really good time. This was really fun. I'm gonna have to come down
love-
before the football game. You know, because I
Yes,
feel.
you have to make sure you let us know if you're making your way up this way.
Excuse me.
So I was gonna
Pardon?
say you have to let us know if you're ever gonna make your way up this way.
Oh no, you guys got to invite me.
Oh well,
right.
yeah, that's true. You're always
Oh,
welcome
well.
up here, but we'll make sure we'll look into the fan expo and see what their horror section is, because they always have whole sections off just for the horror genres. So
Okay.
we'll have to make sure that we try to get in touch with someone to get in touch with you.
I'll email me. I'll email you anything that I might have forgotten.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys were great. I did. I really, really had fun. And you'll enjoy my book.
Wonderful.
The chapters are
Yes,
very, very
will
short.
do.
Pardon?
Okay, that makes things a real page turner then.
That's what they
Wonderful.
say.
Well, yeah, that's right. Thank you very much, Eileen. We super appreciated you coming on the show, and we'll have to try to follow up with you and have you back again sometime soon.
I would love to come back, and I can also bring people with me if you like Joseph
Sure.
Kelly.
We can always.
Produced these two films, and if you'd like to do more of a Zoom, we can do that too.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we can definitely do some more. Wonderful.
Okay,
Well, thank you so much,
Bye.
Thank you
Eileen.
very much.
Appreciate having
Have a
you.
wonderful day.
everybody stay
All right.
healthy and smart and all that kind of stuff, and
Enjoy horror. Go to all the websites. I can do an Eileen Dietz night if you want.
Awesome.
That'd be fun.
Bye.
Excellent. Thanks again, Eileen. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.